Your person seems to be holding back something deep, unspoken, and profoundly personal. It feels like a secret lodged in their heart, a quiet longing for you to see them as they truly are, beyond the surface, beyond the ordinary rhythm of daily interaction. They seem to wish you could step inside their mind, not just to know their thoughts, but to feel their emotions in their rawest, most unguarded state. This hidden part of themselves could explain so much: why they act the way they do, why their behavior sometimes confuses you, and why their presence in your life carries such a strange, magnetic intensity. You can almost sense them urging you, silently, to look past the exterior and to discover the pieces of them they have never been able to say out loud. Their actions, their expressions, and even the smallest choices they make seem to hold clues, breadcrumbs scattered along a path they hope you will follow. And yet, despite this longing to be understood, there is a tension inside them, an invisible wall that keeps them from fully opening up. It is as though some part of them fears the vulnerability that true honesty requires. Perhaps they have been hurt before, or perhaps they simply do not know how to hand over the most delicate parts of their soul without fear of rejection. This leaves you standing in a space where you feel both deeply connected and yet distantly shut out, able to sense the depth of what they feel, but unable to access it entirely. Your intuition seems almost hyper-attuned to their presence. You catch the subtle shift of their posture when you walk into the room, the flicker in their gaze when certain words are spoken, the pauses that seem weighted with things left unsaid. Their communication carries layers, each sentence holding a hidden meaning you are left to decode, each look an unspoken confession waiting to be uncovered. Being with them often feels like solving a riddle, each interaction a puzzle piece that leads you closer to the truth they are too afraid to reveal. There is something both frustrating and fascinating about this, as though you are constantly reading between the lines, trying to interpret the signals they send. Sometimes it feels as though they are speaking to you telepathically, their thoughts reaching for you in moments of stillness, whispering words they cannot yet say aloud. It is as if they are quietly pleading with you not to forget them, not to let them fade from your heart or mind, even in moments of distance. Their fear of being forgotten seems to haunt them, making them want to stay present in your thoughts even when they cannot be physically near. And you feel it, the powerful aura they carry, the strange blend of strength and gentleness that radiates from them. Their connection to you goes so far beyond anything superficial. Yes, there may be physical attraction, a magnetic pull that stirs something primal and irresistible, but you know that their interest runs deeper than that. They are not the type to be satisfied with shallow connections or fleeting moments. They crave something more meaningful, something that nourishes the soul. When you first met them, they seemed to embody everything you longed for in another human being. There was a tenderness about them, a care that wrapped around you like a warm blanket on a cold night. Being near them felt safe, almost sacred, as if you were cradled in a space where nothing could hurt you. But over time, something began to shift. You noticed a change in their demeanor, subtle at first, then more pronounced. The person who had once been so open, so consistently loving, began to retreat. It left you puzzled, perhaps even hurt, as if a light that had once shone brightly was now dimming before your eyes. This shift did not happen without reason. It seemed to coincide with what could only be described as a period of awakening for them. They began walking a path of self-discovery, confronting the layers of themselves they had ignored or suppressed for too long. This inner transformation altered the way they behaved with you, creating moments of distance, moments where you struggled to understand who they had become. The person you once knew was still there, but now there was another layer, mystery, complexity, a shadow of something you couldn't quite grasp. They were wrestling with themselves, fighting silent battles you could not see. Their motives and intentions became more difficult to read, leaving you feeling adrift, unsure of how to navigate the new terrain of your connection. And yet, despite the confusion, despite the uncertainty, there is still a pull between you that cannot be denied. It feels as though the universe itself has tied an invisible thread between your souls, drawing you back toward one another no matter how far you drift apart. Fate seems to have woven your paths together, and this bond, mysterious as it may be, continues to hold you close. Since you left, I have been on my own journey, a journey I never expected but perhaps always needed. Each day has been a mirror held up to my face, forcing me to confront the truth of who I am and who I have been. I have stared at my own reflection and seen not only the good but also the flaws, the selfishness, the patterns that kept me from being the person you deserved. There were moments when the realization struck me like a blow, moments when I felt the weight of the pain I caused you pressed down so hard it was difficult to breathe. I came face to face with the ways in which I sabotaged the beautiful connection we had. I saw clearly how I let fear and insecurity steer me away from your love rather than toward it. When you offered me your heart, I hesitated. I told myself I wasn't worthy, that I couldn't possibly be enough for someone as extraordinary as you. Instead of embracing the gift you gave me, I turned away, retreating into the old habits that had kept me small for so long. I can see now that this was not just a mistake but a betrayal, not because I didn't love you, but because I allowed my fear to silence that love when you needed to hear it most. You were loyal, steadfast, a constant presence even when I faltered, while I drifted like a ship caught in a storm, unsure of where to anchor. The guilt of that realization has been both painful and clarifying. In my solitude, I have replayed those moments again and again, feeling the sting of my own failures but also beginning to understand how much room I have to grow. I have wrestled with my inner demons, with the parts of myself that ran from love rather than embracing it. And as hard as it has been, I have come to see that this painful process was necessary. Your honesty, your loyalty, even your absence, have been catalysts for my transformation. Each step I take now feels like an offering, a commitment to becoming the version of myself that you always believed I could be. It is for you, and because of you, that I continue this work. You are the compass that points me toward my better self, the lighthouse that guides me through dark nights of doubt and despair. My love for you has not faded with time, if anything, it has grown stronger, deeper, more certain. Even in moments when we are apart, I feel the connection between us thrumming like a quiet heartbeat, reminding me that we are not done, that our story has more chapters yet to be written. When we meet again, it will not be as the fractured, fearful person I once was. It will be as someone who has faced the shadows and chosen to step into the light. I imagine that day often, the day our paths cross once more, when I can look into your eyes without the heaviness of regret weighing me down. I will hold you not with desperation, but with reverence, grateful for the chance to stand before you as someone whole. I know the road ahead will not be simple. Trust is not rebuilt overnight, and the wounds I caused cannot be erased by mere words. But I am prepared to put in the work, to show you through action and through patience that I am here for the long journey. My greatest fear is that someone else has taken my place in your heart, that time has carried you so far from me that I can no longer reach you. This thought keeps me awake some nights, pressing heavily on my chest. And yet, even in the face of this fear, I remain committed to my path. I long for a future where we build a life together, where we share not only love but laughter, challenges, quiet mornings, and wild, beautiful adventures. You are not only beautiful in appearance but radiant in spirit, your kindness and compassion shining like sunlight through the cracks of my own brokenness. These are the qualities that drew me to you, that continue to hold me in awe of who you are. So here I stand, offering you the most vulnerable parts of myself. I know I will make mistakes still, that I will stumble as I continue to grow, but my love is unwavering. I am prepared to fight for this, to chase after you if that's what it takes, not to possess you but to prove that you are cherished, respected, and seen. No matter how far you wander, you will always have a home in my heart. Together, I believe we can write a new chapter, one filled with forgiveness, redemption, and the kind of love that heals old wounds. Let us meet not as the people we once were, but as two souls who have been tempered by pain and polished by growth. Let us walk forward hand in hand into a future brighter than anything we could have imagined. Our story is not over, it is still unfolding, and I believe the best is yet to come.